This is The Run Wave, candid chats with real runners about topics that affect the running community. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Run Wave podcast. I am your host, Kim. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. It's been a while since I've been here. If you are a return listener, welcome back. I hope you've missed me as much as I've missed you. We have a lot to talk about. Yeah, so the elephant in the pod sphere is where the heck have I been? And, I've been around. I just haven't been podcasting. It's been a busy year. I had a lot of free time last year in 2020, 2021 to do this show, but y'all know we outside, the world is back open, and your girl has been just living life. And, I just had to put the podcast on the back burner for a little while, but we are back. And we might not be back every week, but we're going to be back, and you're going to see more episodes you're going to see and hear more episodes of the Run Wave. So I hope that you guys continue to ride this out with me. I have been running races. I ran the London Marathon. I've done a few races. So I've been out there, and the people have been telling me that they miss the Run Wave. So your wish is my command. The Run Wave is back. So I'm happy to be back. I'm in this room talking to myself, but I know you guys are at home listening to me, and I really appreciate you continuing to hold me down and, just letting me know that you enjoy the show, because the show is still alive. You can still listen to past episodes of the show, and y'all are listening. I see the stats. I know people are still tuning into the show, which is amazing to me. I appreciate all of the love and support, and thank you. So coming up on today's episode, I am chatting with McKenley Mason. He is an Ironman. He's almost a 7-continent finisher. He has 5 continents. He has 2 to go. He's finishing up his 6 stars next year in Tokyo. And get this, he's doing this all at 64 years of age. He is awe-inspiring to me. I love his story, and I think that you all will enjoy his story as well, because he's just such a motivator for me. And I know that he motivates everyone on a daily basis. I get to watch him, live his running triathlete life on a daily basis on Facebook. So I know if he inspires me, he inspires so many others as well. So I wanted to bring his story, to you all, so you can learn who he is and just see what it takes to be doing what we do, at his age. And you would not think he's 64 years old. The man is in shape. He pulled me through the London Marathon, y'all. He pulled me through. So yeah, he has a close place in my heart, and I'm so glad to be able to share his story with you. So check it out. All right, everyone, please welcome Deacon, husband, grandfather, runner, triathlete, 5-star finisher. He's an Ironman. He does it all at the age of 60 plus years young. Welcome, McKenley Mason, to the Run Wave podcast.
Hey, Kim, how are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I had a restful weekend, didn't have to travel this weekend, so I'm feeling excellent. I didn't do anything except go to church.
And you needed a rest because you have been all over the world, all over the United States, the world, everywhere. You've been doing it all. So I don't know how you do it, quite honestly.
Well, when I see people, that's what they say. They say, you've been all over the world. What you been doing? I'll be like, just doing stuff.
I wanted to chat with you because we were just in London together. He got me through the
Yes.
London Marathon, y'all. I'm telling you, if McKinley wasn't there, I would have been, deep on the struggle bus. So he helped me tremendously in the London Marathon. And, every time I see you, you're just so happy. Like you're so positive. You're a ball of energy. And like that's infectious. It rubs off on other people. And when I look at
Oh, really?
you, yeah, when I look at you, it gives me like joy and hope and encouragement that when I get to that
Oh,
age,
wow.
that hopefully, cross your fingers, I'll be doing the same
Yes.
thing too. So, and I know other people look at you and your posts, and you give all of us encouragement, quite honestly. And I wanted to hear
Oh,
your
good
story
deal.
because I know there's a story behind all of your
Yes,
madness.
it is.
So, tell
Yes,
me
it is.
about McKinley. I hear a little twang. So, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from the southern part of Virginia, the rural area. I grew up in the rural area, country boy,
Okay.
and I never wanted to let that side of me to kind of get away
Hmm.
because that's kind of like who I am still today. Even though I've done a lot of things, been a lot of places, seen a lot of people,
Hmm.
but those roots is where I came from. Everything I do today. It goes all the way back to those days when I worked in the fields, when I had to get up, go to school, had to work after school, and all of that stuff. It was all about getting a lot of stuff done with nothing.
So you took us
So
way back. You worked in wait, what part of Virginia were you from? What's the name of the city?
it's a city. It's a county called Dinwiddie County. If you ever travel south on 95, you hit Petersburg, and you had to go to Atlanta. You take 85.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Dinwiddie is the first county that you go through, and a lot of people say, "Oh, that's where they write all those tickets at," because we have all the little cuts where the woods, where the police hide,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and a lot of people get tickets in our county. That's why a lot of people know Dinwiddie County.
Mm-hmm. That's when we dread driving down 95 South because we pick up all those tickets along the way.
Yes, 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 yes.
So are you still in that area now?
Yes, yeah, yeah. When I graduated from high school, went to college here locally, the Virginia State University, 1981 graduate, was ROTC, so I went into the military. And once I retired, I wanted to come back home. And because I love where I grew up at, I love everything about it. And the general, who's my wife, if folks heard me reference the general, and she's like you. She really could like prosper in the city of New York City. She
Mm-hmm.
really could. So I tell people all the time, we are like if you ever watch Green Acres, I'm that guy, she's that lady. So when we were discussing where we was gonna live, I wanted to move back deep country. She was like, "No, we can move to the county, but it has to be within 2 miles of the city." So I literally live like in a suburban area and have neighbors, but we get to the city in like 5 minutes. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the negotiation.
So speaking of the general, and the general is his wife,
Yes.
in case you guys missed that part. Where did you guys meet? Are you like high school sweethearts?
Yes. Yes, we literally go back that far. I'm a 1976 graduate. She's a 1977 graduate. And I knew her in school when I was a senior. I used to remember seeing her in the hallway. And of course, too bashful to say anything. I mean, like I'm truly an introvert. People don't believe that. I'm like so scared of people,
Yeah, right.
and I literally am. And so I literally didn't know how to introduce myself, so I didn't. So in her senior year, a cousin of mine was in class with her. So I asked my cousin to, if whatever you have to do, please get her phone number. And he did somehow. And I called her on the phone and invited her, I think, to go to the county fair. And we went to the county fair one day, and boom, here we are, 40 some years later.
Wow. So you've been
Yeah,
together
yeah.
47 years or married 47 years?
We met in 1977 and we married in 1981 when I finished college.
And the year I was born.
Yeah, yeah. Remember we talked about that.
We did talk about that. Oh my
Yeah,
God. You
yes,
know
remember we
what?
talked about that.
Hmm. I love it because you
Yes.
don't see in these times like people who have been married
Hmm.
that many years. So that's incredible. How many
Yes.
kids do you guys have?
Yes. we have two kids. We have two kids. We have our oldest son. He's in Dallas, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a daughter, and she's in Maryland. So if you see me go to a lot of Maryland a lot, talk about my grandboys. Those my daughter, two boys.
Okay. And you have just the two grandkids?
Yeah, and I have a third daughter, and she's in Houston, Texas,
Oh,
and she's not by the general. She's by another lady. So that was a part of me that made the stir of who I am today. So she's an excellent woman for still being here with me, and even though that's not her daughter.
nice. So that's why you spend so much time. I see you down in Texas in the heat.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Visiting them, chilling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yes.
So what does the general think about you traveling all over the world and the country to do these races?
Well, if like it's sometimes I have to describe people that know me in the race world. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't know me. They didn't know me like 12 years ago because I only been doing this stuff for 12 years. I ran my first marathon at 52, and the previous me, like I wasn't always this deacon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So before that, a lot of my friends and people I work with, people I went to school with, they didn't call me this deacon. They called me the Mac Daddy
Oh,
because that's who I was.
okay.
That's who I was. That's who I was. Believe it or not.
The Mac
So
Daddy.
yes, so yeah, so compared to those days and these days, she would take what I do now a lot better, because I kind of switched one life for another life, and a lot of things was going on back then. A lot of stuff. And so what she see me now, just go out, run a race, and come back and just lay on the couch. She's very happy.
Yeah. It's especially people don't understand why we do what we do. So it's like essential
Yes,
to have
yes,
a support system at home that
yes, yes,
they
yes,
don't
yes, yes,
100% get it, but they kind of get it.
yes, yes, yes,
And sometimes they
yes,
tag along
yes.
to the good locations with us, just the good ones.
Right. Well, that's what I tell people. They say, "Well, I see she go on some trips." I said she picks the sexy trips to go on. You
Hmm.
know, she picks the sexy trips. Like for an example, like she didn't go on none of my last three trips I've been on, but she's going to Jamaica
Of course.
in December. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I would pick
she's
that
going
one
to
as
Jamaica.
well.
So she's right, right, right. And also, like if I'll do some doubles, like Chicago and some other places, she won't go again. She was like been there, done that.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a waste of her time. She's already seen it.
Hmm.
That type of thing.
So
Yeah.
do you have a military background as well?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
What branch were you in?
And a lot of I was Army. Yep, I was Army. Like I said, when I was in college, I was ROTC, and that was the accident that I done that. I was walking on campus one day, and this military guy asked me, "Was I in ROTC?" I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about the Army or nothing. He told me one thing. He said, "Do you want to make $100 a month?" And this was 1977, and $100 a month literally probably was like 1,500 a month now. And
Wow.
I was like $100 a month. Yeah. Where do I sign up? And I literally signed up just because of that $100. And I graduated and went into the army and stayed in the army, done a career. So a lot of things you see me do today is because of that military background, that discipline, that self motivation and all that stuff. I don't like I'm self coach. I've never had a coach and all the stuff that I do. And
Hmm.
only thing I need is the blueprint. I just need the draft and the blueprint and ask a couple of questions and somebody tell me something and I can run with
So that's how you pack a
it.
whole week in a doggone backpack.
Yes.
Y'all, McKinley laid out his clothes. He must have had about 10 outfits in a backpack. I said, if only I wish I could. If only. That's
Yes, yes,
hilarious.
yes, yes,
So what was
yes. My
your
my
job in
longest
the army?
I was a logistician. Yep, a logistician means like the supply person. If you needed something, if you needed to travel, if you needed something to eat, if you needed something to sleep, you needed something to drive, you needed clothes, that type of person. I was the one to provide everything to you.
Okay.
So, so even in this one world, when it comes to setting up a lot of stuff and doing a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to reach out and go to a lot of third parties because a lot of that background from the military has taught me how to do a lot of things, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's a benefit.
Mm-hmm. So how does that translate to your current profession? Are you still like government slash
Yes,
military?
I'm still. Yes, yes, yes. It literally like got out the army on Friday. I went to sleep, woke up Monday morning, took a shower, and put a suit on, and just went to a different office.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, it was such a blessing. You know, because the job I've retired in my local area, and the job I went to was in my local area. And the greatest thing about it I love what I do in logistics, and
Mhm.
so I literally love what I do, and that's kind of the reason I'm probably still kind of working. You know, because a lot of people don't believe I have a job. You know, you can relate to
You
this.
ain't the only one. Nobody think I work. I don't know how these trips get paid for, but yeah, we work, y'all.
Right, right. Yeah, people really don't believe we have a job. So I literally was going to retire about 4 years ago, but when they started the telework thing, then the pandemic hit. We started working from home a lot, and I'm the type. If I'm home, I'm going to be on the computer anyway. You know, so I'm not one to just be at home. You know, I'm not that grandfather sitting on the porch with a corn cob pipe just staring into the space and whatever, whatever. I'm not that guy. I'm going to be on the computer. I'm going to be figuring something out. I'm going to be doing something anyway, so I might as well work and get paid. That's the way
I
I look at
remember
it.
I remember all those posts during the pandemic. He was posting the news, the picture of him on the screen with his laptop and he's like, I'm working, laying down
Yep,
on the
exactly,
couch.
exactly. Laying down on the couch. Exactly, laying
That's
down on
how
the
you gotta
couch.
do it. You work harder, not smarter. No, you work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
I mixed that up.
Thank you.
You
Thank
know,
you.
so
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you.
he has a
Yeah.
job, y'all.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
gotta
I mean,
work.
another
We
thing I
not
tell.
independently wealthy.
Yeah. Yeah, and another thing I tell folks, you know, I said, now if you're able to do math, get your little pen and paper out. I started working when I was 15, right? And
Hmm.
I'm currently 64, and you do the math, right? And that's
Hmm.
how long I literally been working. So just like you said, I don't work like that anymore. No,
Hmm. You work smart.
no, I don't work. I work smart. Yes, yes,
Listen,
yes.
you've been working
Yeah, and then
longer than some of these whippersnappers been alive. Shoot.
Hello, hello, exactly. So yeah, so when you see me take a day, and I'm like, I don't feel like it today. This is what I say. I say I've earned that because in life, whatever you do, life is a balance. Everything balance out. Those days I went long, and those days I go short. And in the end, when I walk away, all of it balance out to be the same. A
Hmm.
career.
I hear that. I aspire to be that. Take me there. So you are an Iron Man.
Yes, yes,
Kudos to you. So
yes.
what made you get into the sport of triathlon? I know we all start out as runners and we get bored and it's like
Right, right.
time to do
Yes,
something
yes,
else.
yes,
So
yes,
what's your
yes,
story
yes.
about triathlon? How did you get into it?
You know, I was I think I was 58, I was 57, 58 years old, and running like I was literally running like 3 or 4 or 5 marathons a year. And you know, all the training and building up to it, and something hit me said, you need to start doing some cross training to you know, take some beating off your legs.
Hmm.
And so I got a Walmart bike, $88, and started riding this little bike. But
Hmm.
when I brought the bike up, I noticed it wasn't put together properly, you know,
Hmm.
because growing up as a kid and growing up on the farm, we used to take like 5 bikes to make one. So I knew how to work on bikes. So I knew this one wasn't mechanically sufficient. So I took it to the bike shop.
Hmm.
So, you know, if you ever go to the bike shop, you meet people. Next thing you know, you're riding with people. Next thing
Hmm.
you know, you're in a pool. You be like, how did I get here? And next thing you know, you're doing a 300-meter swim in open water somewhere. You're like, how did I get here? You
Hmm.
know, and it builds and it builds and it just become part of your life. And now, you know, I could never give it up.
Hmm. So did you see like people online doing triathlon or did you just say I'm gonna cross train and you just fell into it?
I saw back in the day when BTA was born.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my heroes came from those early days. I used to sit and watch them, and I thought they literally was the greatest athletes in the world. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, man, they do. I'm like, I just do a marathon. I can barely walk to the car after doing a marathon. I can never imagine getting on a bike and then and running another marathon. I'm like, oh no, we're not gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I started seeing some other folks that I thought was like me, ordinary. Because the other people, remember, I said was superheroes, so they should have been able to do it. So I started seeing other people that was ordinary like me. I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting. And I just, start talking to them because I was a very weak swimmer. And so the people that were strong swimmers, I just used to have conversations with them, and I would increase my swim from 10 meters to 20 meters to 30 meters to next thing you know, I could swim 50 meters. And and boom. And someone said, you stay with it long enough, the light will come on. And literally it did. I didn't trust it when they said it, but literally it did. One day, boom, the light came on. I'm still not fast, but I can get to wherever they want me to go in the
Mm-hmm.
time frame they want me to get there. I can do that.
And that's
Yep,
all
just
that
tell
matters.
me how far. Exactly. Tell me how far. Tell me how much time I got, and I can do that.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever
Because when I get
feel?
out,
Keep going.
because I was gonna say when I get out the water, I'm gonna pass half of the folks between the bike and the run anyway. I already know that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to get out the water. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
I manage that time. Yes. Yes.
People don't understand like the swim is the hardest part. I mean, the bike and the run are hard, right? But you have to survive
Yes. Yes.
the
Yes.
swim to get to
You have
the
to.
bike and the run.
Yes. 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 It is.
So
Yes,
that's
it is
literally like
because
the hardest part, especially if you're not the strongest swimmer.
right. Because like my first triathlon was 2017, and if on that day they said bike 112 miles and run a marathon, I could have been Ironman that day because I could have done that
Mm-hmm.
within the allotted time frames. But I couldn't swim 25 yards. So for most of us, most men, us black folks, most of us, that is the separator, the swim
Mm-hmm.
part. And nowadays, in triathlon, I try to go back and grab people that was like me and not tell them, but show them that if you have to have this patience to stay with this thing. I mean, it's going to be one of the most frustrating. It's going to be one of the most hardest things you ever done in your life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not that you're going to be like real tired, like a marathon, anything like that, but mentally, emotionally, and everything else. Every night it can say, you can't do this. You can't do
Mm-hmm.
this. Then you go to the pool, you see other people swim like fish, and you can't go 10 feet because you're about to drown and all of that. And your mind convince you this is not for us,
Mm-hmm.
right? They
Yes.
say black folks can't swim. And you
Mm-hmm.
convince yourself they are right. They are
Mm-hmm.
right. Yeah, but because of BTA, I wouldn't accept that. And in my first triathlon, I met one lady, Lenora. I don't know if you know Lenora,
Mm-hmm.
and she's a black triathlete, and she done her first Ironman at 62, I think.
Wow.
And when I met her that day, she was the first Ironman I ever met in my life, and she was black, and she was old, and I was like, oh dang, yep. And she became she's in our local area. She became my local hero, and I just latched on. Whatever she done, I was there watching, looking, yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
asking questions, and
Mm-hmm.
sooner or later, it all came together.
You know, I haven't done a triathlon in years, and I'm okay with that.
Hmm.
I'm not an Ironman. I'm a half Ironman, and I'm okay with that.
Yes,
You know, but
nothing wrong with that.
no,
Nothing wrong with that.
people always ask me, how, I want to be a triathlete. How do I get into triathlon? I say, but can you swim?
Mhm.
Can you
Yes, yes. That's
if
the first
you
question.
can't
Yes, yes,
swim,
yes.
take a that I was like, I'm a fish. That the swim was the easy part,
Right.
but
Okay. Okay.
I took master swim classes to get, better
Hmm.
at, because no matter how good I was, they were all better. And you
Yes.
know who I mean by
Right.
they.
Of course.
They were
Yes.
all
Yes.
better.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I always
Yes.
tell
Yes. Yes.
people like you have to invest in yourself. You know,
Yes, yes,
we can
yeah,
go out there, we can buy all the greatest gadgets, we can have the flyest shoes and all that
yes,
stuff, but take some
yes,
classes, build your craft, and it's not always about following what the crowd is
yes.
doing because triathlon is hard.
It's real hard. Yes, real hard.
You
It's real
know?
hard. Yeah, because you know how like if a person do a half marathon, I can't automatically tell them if you do a half, you can do a full. But just like I'm
No,
talking to you and you say you've done a 7.3, I would not tell you you can do a full.
no, it's a
No,
different
they
beast.
they, they they don't even translate together. Not
No.
not at all. That's not at all. Not at all.
And you know what? I hate marathons. People ask me, they say, how you hate marathons? I hate them. So I know that I will never
Yeah.
do an Ironman because I hate marathons. I could never imagine
Yeah.
getting off the bike 112 miles and running a marathon. Like I can't.
Yes.
I've reached
Yeah.
my limit. It's
Yeah.
hard, and I commend
Yeah.
anyone that can do it is like amazing. You're all amazing. It's
Yeah.
incredible, and
Yeah.
I wonder what the percentages of people that have done an Ironman. Have you ever looked that up?
Well, they said marathon is 1%,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'll be like, well, you know what? I cut that in half.
It's probably
Just
less
think
than
about it.
that.
It's probably less. Exactly. Exactly. Then you throw the black card in there, and how far that falls down. You know what I mean?
And when we
Exactly.
go to the
Yeah.
running race, we could count us. When you go to a triathlon, you can really count
Yeah.
us. It's like,
Look, look. When I went to my Ironman, it was 2,300 people. It probably was 10 of us.
and it's
Yeah.
always
You
like
you do
that.
the math. Yeah. Always. 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 Yeah. And that's why a lot of people say, well, this sport is not for us. But it is.
It is. It surely
Yeah.
is. And we just have to put
Yeah.
our mind
Yeah.
to it and just do it because we can do it all. We had a doggone
Oh
president.
yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right, right, right. Well, it's been proven once we decide to do something, we succeed at higher levels doing it. But we just have to convince ourselves first that we can do it. And so that's why it's so important that the person in front of us do it. So the people behind us now they believe they can do it. That's
Exactly.
why that's why that representation is so important.
Hmm. So how many Ironmans do you have?
I've done one. I've done one. The one I done last year, Ironman Maryland. I
Why do
done
I
that.
think you've done so many?
Yeah, a lot of people think I did, but no, my philosophy is about doing races. I believe in racing to prepare for the big race. So
Hmm.
I done a whole lot of triathlons to prepare for Ironman. And
Hmm.
so I think a lot of people get confused with like, what the event was because I've done a lot of half Ironmans,
Hmm.
and you always saw me around the brand. So a lot of people kind of associate. They be like, I'm like, no, that wasn't it. Yeah, and so I done that at 63. But next year I'm going back to Maryland, and I'm doing an Ironman for my birthday. It's my birthday week at 65 years old. That's my plan. Matter of fact, I started training last week for that.
Nice. So when is that? That's in like early fall, right?
It's middle of September.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
my birthday is on the 12th. I think this race is like the 16th or the 15th, whatever that Saturday is. That's when the race is.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'll be a 65-year-old black man out there.
So you going back for the jellyfish?
Oh yes, 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 yeah, yeah. The jellyfish was the easy part, because like you say, I was a soldier, and sleeping in mosquitoes and bugs, and anything else. After a while, you be like, you know what? They not going away, so you learn to deal with them, and it was just the same with the jellyfish.
Hmm.
Yeah, you just learn to deal with them. After about 10 minutes, you kind of get comfortable. You know they gonna bite. You know what they feel like. You just keep pushing.
See, I was lucky. Like I did Eagle Man, which is the same course as Ironman Maryland, just half.
Yes, 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 yes.
And we
Yes, have
saw
yes.
them, but we didn't feel them.
Yeah.
But that's in
Yeah.
June. Did Eagle Man too,
That's
right?
in June. Yes, I did. Yes,
Were they
yes,
out there
yes.
when you did it?
Yeah, because in June the water is too the conditions not right for them to like be in the biting stage, if I have to put it like that. In June, the water is the air temperature is hot, and it's not much rain, so it's really the weather in the fall that kind of brings them to out to feed when September comes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of the weather. Yeah,
So do you ever
yeah.
think,
So next year,
go ahead.
so next year I'll be doing both events. I'm going to do Eagle Man to prepare for. I'm going to do Eagle Man to prepare for the Ironman next year.
Man, what year did you do Eagle Man?
Let me see. I've done 2020, 2021, same year.
Was it like blazing hot when you did it?
Oh yes, June. Yes, yes, yes. Oh
I
yes.
remember Eagle Man when by the time I
Mhm.
got to the run, it was like the
Mhm.
zombie apocalypse. Like
Oh yes, yes, yes,
everybody
yes,
was
yes,
walking.
yes,
Like I was shocked.
yes,
Like they
yes, yes,
scared me because I said, if
yes.
y'all walking, the fast people were walking because they were already finishing
Yes,
up when I'm starting
yes,
my run,
yes.
and that's a
Right,
hard
right,
course.
right.
It's hard in June.
Right, 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 right. Well, folks don't realize how hot it gets on the East Coast in the middle of the summer. You
Oh
know,
my God.
where you all at? You know, it's hot in the East Coast in June and July and August.
Oh yeah.
It's burning up. And that's why they don't run marathons during those months primarily. You know,
Oh, they
only
can't.
people out there are
Yeah, people would pass
you
out.
know, yeah, but triathlon folks they don't care. They still out there. They go, they go the whole summer. They don't care.
Hmm. So do you ever think about like what's next in triathlon? Because a lot of people ask me like, why are you not doing New York City? I'm like, how many times can I run the
Hmm.
New York City Marathon?
Right,
How many
right, right,
times can I do
right,
this the
right,
same course over and
right,
over again? So what
right,
do you
right.
feel like is on like after you do your next full? What are you gonna do in
I
triathlon next?
it's the way I like to look at things. I like doing hard things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do an event to say I do an event. I like to do it like like this month, for example, October. I'm doing 3 marathons in 1 month. You know, it was nice to do London. It was nice to do Chicago,
What?
and it's nice to do Marine Corps, right? All that's fine, but I'm doing them all in 1 month. So I like to do hot stuff. I'm running Marine Corps this weekend. Um, and so when it come to my first Ironman, it was my first, and it was a 60 plus guy getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of thought about it like maybe I'm one and done. I'm not sure. I kind of
Mm-hmm.
go on fielding. But then I got the thought of, I remember at my first race, like I said, it was only about 10 of us out there. And when it came to black men, I think it was only like three of us. And when it came to like when I go to triathlon events, it's hardly any plus 60 black men. I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, that guy that guy. So, I kind of like ask myself, well, how many 65-year-old black men out there try to accomplish and do this Ironman thing? And then it just grew on me like, let's go do it again, right? And then I had to choose my race. So I was thinking of, different races, going to Texas with my two kids that maybe, and doing this race or that race. But then I got the spirit to go back to Maryland because it's my 65th birthday
Mm-hmm.
and go and rent one of them big old houses, take your family out there, invite a lot of friends, and
Mm-hmm.
actually just be a birthday weekend and everybody
Mm-hmm.
celebrating just that I have to do a race.
That would
So
be a
turning into a
nice
family
birthday
event.
celebration, though.
Yes, yes, yes. Turn into a family event. Turn into a family event, that type of thing.
Were you
Yeah. So
surprised? Go ahead.
that just became a part of like my overall goals of hard things I want to do that most folks don't do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why going back and do the second one.
Mm-hmm. Were you surprised during the London Marathon? Because Mac ran in his London shirt, y'all. I mean, not his London shirt, his Ironman shirt. And I think you had the,
Yes.
the visor on too, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So you would not believe like how many people came up to him to ask him, are you an Iron Man? That was the first question. And
Yes.
then they wanted to know,
Yes.
well, which one did you do?
Yes.
And it was like
Why we running?
the same two questions over and over and over. And I'm like, are they
Yes.
asking because they're curious or are they shocked and surprised that a black man has done an Ironman?
Mm-hmm. Number two.
And
Number two.
they were like just so serious about it. And I was after a while, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, y'all, I know we in England
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, y'all got black folks here.
Yes.
They had
Right, right, right,
black
right,
folks
right.
there, but they were just
Yes, yes,
shocked
yes,
that you did an Ironman. And what was your reply every time they
yes,
asked you?
yes. You know what? I can't remember.
He don't remember. He would
You
ask them,
know?
"Well, what race did you do? Which Ironman
Oh,
did you do?"
I can't, I mean, yeah, it's like God, I couldn't even remember. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, did I really?
Yes, you like, what race did you do? Because I'm like,
uh,
I mean, you can't buy these shirts, right? You got to get them at the race.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. Well,
I love that
it's
you
like
asked them
most
that in
like this.
return.
Yeah. It's like most big races I go to. I tell people, I say I wear my resume. I wear my Ironman stuff. I wear my Boston stuff. I wear multiple stuff. I wear something that's maybe something to show I've been to Antarctica. And especially when I went to Antarctica, I get the same question like I get the same questions for Ironman. What a
Hmm.
black man, like when, where, and you get all the questions. And the reason I do that, some of our people think, what they call it, you flossing and whatever, whatever, but it's not that. It's for them.
Hmm.
It's for them to let them know we've been there and we do hard stuff, right? And we can do it once we believe they can. And I also do it to strike up the conversation because most of the time you start up a conversation with me, like you just said, I know how to finish it. You're gonna get it all because you're the one started it, not me. And so when I wear things like that, when I wear my resume, that's primarily the reason for it. I'm advertising for us to let folks know, yeah, we black folks, we do hard stuff. Yeah.
And you know what? When I was packing for London, I saw the London jacket. I texted my friend like, "Should I bring this the Boston jacket?" I said, "Should I bring the Boston jacket?" And he was like, "Heck yeah, you should bring the Boston jacket." So I brought it.
Yes.
My
Yes.
jacket still had the tags on. I had not worn it
Yes.
before,
Wow.
London.
Right. 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 Right.
But you
Right.
know
Right.
what?
Right.
I went to the Tracksmith pop up, and there was
Mm-hmm.
this woman there, and she had her Boston jacket
Mm-hmm.
on with all the
Yes.
years that she did
Yes.
Boston.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
she came up
Mm-hmm.
to me and said, "Look at the back of my
Mm-hmm.
jacket." She said to me, I said, "What? I don't want to look. What I need
Right.
to look at the back of your jacket?" Like, they floss. They're flossing, right? They're coming up. They
Exactly.
want you to know what
Right.
they've done and when they've done it.
Exactly.
And I just found
Exactly.
that I found it strange but funny at the same time, because she wanted me to know that she's, and she probably qualified. She was like skinny,
Right.
white
Right.
lady, and
Right. Right.
she
Right.
qualified, and
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Right. Right. Right.
I got Boston too. Hmm.
Of course. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And that's
Yeah.
why you wear it. Yeah. That's why
Hmm.
you wear it.
So from now on, I will wear my Boston. I used to call the Boston jacket wearers the show offs. They're the show offs. Stop showing off. You ran Boston. Stop showing off. So I guess
Right, 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 right,
I'm gonna
right.
be in the show off gang for now.
Right. Yes. 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 Because like when I started doing the majors, one thing I wanted to do, I didn't want to buy like get a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff go in the closet that I wouldn't wear. But I said at least I wanted a jacket for each
Mm-hmm.
race, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so one day when this journey is finished, and like so if I literally can go to a race, I can wear my resume, wear my 6-star resume. I can pick any one that I went and wear it to any particular race just to strike up that particular conversation on a plane, at the airport, in an Uber, or whatever it is. And then, someone, like I said, they always ask a question. Once you ask a question, you're gonna get an answer. And me being this deacon run, most of the answers gonna come from a religious or a Christian point of view because they always want to know, how do you get there? And especially if
Mm-hmm.
you with them for a while on an airplane and everything, you tell them their story. Because I've developed like about 10 friends I would have never met at an airport or stuff like that because you
Mm-hmm.
start telling them your story and they can relate and they want to exchange information and like we still converse even today about stuff.
That's nice. That's just the conversation starter.
Yeah, it's the conversation starter.
That's
But
what
you
it
never
is.
would have award, you'd have never met that person. You never had to influence them on their in their lives. They would just look at you as just another person going to such and such a place. That's it. But
That's true.
things like that. things like that. They happens for a reason. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wear some of this stuff. Yeah.
So I have had the pleasure of running 3 out of 6. Well, we have 5 now. We have 5 stars. So we were in New
Yes.
York City, Boston,
Yes.
and London.
Yes.
And next
Yes.
up, we have Tokyo
Yes.
in 2023.
I know.
So,
Yes.
did you ever think when you started this like running journey that it would take you all over the world and like to claiming your 6 stars? Did you even know what 6 stars were?
No. No, I did not. I didn't have a clue, right? But when you talk about the journey and running the world, I have to go back to in my life before running became a part of my life. And like once upon a time, I'll tell you about the Mac Daddy. Mac Daddy drank a lot and smoked cigarettes. Can you believe that? I
Wow.
smoked a pack of cigarettes a day now.
What?
And yes, love Hennessy. Yeah,
Ooh.
I love Hennessy. Yep, Hennessy on the rocks, no chaser. That was my
Oh,
favorite.
straight
Yep,
up.
yes, with a malt liquor on the side.
Ooh,
Yes,
straight up with a chaser.
yes, yes. Yeah, right, right. But I was that guy when I drink. I didn't like to drink alone, so I would like drive to places, drive to people's houses, stuff like that. And so in that process, I would get stopped a lot, and I got in a lot of trouble. Got in a lot of trouble because I always got stopped. I don't know why they always pick me. Maybe I couldn't drive. I don't know. I know people been doing it for years, never got stopped. But I'm like, they always catch me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I got in a lot of trouble, and a point became in my life where, either I was going to kill someone else in that car or I was going to kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if one of the two was going to happen. And I remember one night, I think I was driving to the store. I told the general I was going to run up to the store and get something we needed. I was cooking. And so I always grab a beer out of the refrigerator. Sometimes I would put it in my lap and don't even drink it, go all the way to the store and back, but I just felt it needed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the crutch, right? And I remember that night I was driving and something hit me. I was like, Lord, only I wish I could stop. You know, I didn't get on my knees and pray. I didn't go, get the King James version of the book or nothing like that. Because where I grew up at, I was just taught, the Lord is your daddy, and talk to him, asking for stuff, in your life. Just talk to him, because I didn't know all the official, Some people think to pray you got to be, and I know it ain't like that, Just
Mm-hmm.
have a conversation, keep listening. And so I asked, I said, something got to be done about this. But just like, you always heard people say, the reward you get might not happen the way you think it's gonna happen. Like it might not happen the way you think it's gonna happen. And so I got in this real, real hard, troubling situation, uh, and I literally had to like go away for 13 months out of my life. My life was not my own, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but the greatest thing was that's one of the greatest things that happened to me in my life. And because I wasn't with my family, I wasn't with anyone else. It was just there for me to work on me. And that was the beginning of me um, to start running endurance runs. Because during the day, I would just go and just run. I wanted nothing else to do, just run,
Mm-hmm.
just run and just run and just run and just run. And I remember one morning it was close for me to go home, and I remember looking up in the morning sky, and I was like, you know what, Lord, when I get out of here, right? I'm like, um, I'm gonna keep on doing this running stuff, and wherever I go, I'm gonna give you all the credit. And I tell people today, I said, I guess that was meant for me to just run the world. That's what he sent me. I didn't pick none of this stuff. If it was me, I'd just cut my grass and plant my garden and play with my grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I I do all that stuff, but this stuff came from somewhere else. It's not me. And so I guess what he chose me to do, and I give him the credit. And when the people said I influenced them to this, I influenced them to that, I'm like, well, that's what the Lord promised me what was going to happen, and that's the way it has turned out. And it's such a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing. And like when people look back, they would look at that situation. They were like, some people look at things negative like that. But I always say, other than my wife, kids, grandkids, and family and all that, that's like one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. Because I don't think I would be here today. Either I've been like had life or lost my life, one or the other. You know. Yeah. So that's where running the world came from. That's where this Deacon Run came from. All of that. Yeah.
I'm so happy you just told that story because we only see like the glitz and glamour online, and we never, that's why people say you don't work because they don't know what goes on, in real life, right? And that
Yes.
story,
Yes. Yes.
it's part of you. It made you who you are today. I'm sure that built like
Yes.
a ton
Yes.
of
Yes.
character within you. And dang, that
Yes.
just,
Yes. Yes.
you go deep, deep.
Yes.
You go deep. Like I would have never known that, you didn't tell exactly what happened, but I could feel that it was something, tremendous, and it was just life altering
Yes,
for
yes,
you. And, that's
yes, yes,
incredible.
yes,
Someone's gonna
yes,
sit here and listen to that
yes,
and, play it for their son,
yes,
their daughter, or whoever. And, that
yes, yes, yes,
it's
yes,
just
yes,
life change.
yes,
It's amazing.
yes,
You're incredible.
yeah. I mean, because like during that time, I had professional people. Like I said, I was a government worker, and I'm a professional government worker to where I have to have certain certifications to do my job. And
Hmm.
I've had professional people that had told me during that time, you would never do this again based on, what happened to you. You would never do this or you would never do that. And your life would never be the same again or whatnot. And and when I got home, I applied for, I didn't listen to them, because I felt different. And because one thing I always, when in the email you sent me, it asked the question, who are you? And I could tell you my name. I could tell you about my family, all my degrees, and all of that, my relationships, who I know. But none of that will tell you who I am. But
Hmm.
what I truly am, I'm a believer. From a little boy, I always believed that if you wanted to do something, that hard work thing I was telling you about, if you always wanted to do something, if you put your mind to it and you done the work, it'll happen, right? It might take a
Hmm.
long time, might take a lot. You're gonna go through a lot, but it can happen. So
Hmm.
that's the belief I had. I got home, I put in one job. I put in for one job, right? And the lady called me on the phone and she said, "You are hired." No interview, no nothing. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I was like, "You sure you don't want me to come up there?" She was like, "It's DC." I was like, "You sure you want me to come up there?" She said, "Nah, I'm looking at your resume. You're a bad boy."
Hmm.
She said, "So I know you can do this job." Yeah, she said, "I know you can do this job." I'm like, "Okay, not a problem." And that same lady is the lady I work for today. Wherever she moved,
Wow.
I'm right behind her. Yep, that
Wow.
same lady. If she moved to another office, I'm right behind her. Because we have this working relationship, we have this bond, and it all
Mhm.
works out in the long run between what I do, the runs, the traveling, and my job and everything. And she's a part of it, so and she
Mhm.
supports me.
That's incredible. So
Yeah.
what's next on your, I know you're doing like the continents. How many do you
Yes.
have and how many do you need? What do you have left?
I have two continents left, and like folks, sometimes people ask me about my goal and what I'm doing next, and I kind of elevate it. It's not like a race, it's not like a event, like this one thing. It's like it's nice to do 6 stars. That's like real nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get 6 stars,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And it's like it's like real nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's not
And
many of us that
it's
got
like
it.
right. And it's like real nice to do no, it's real hard and it's real beneficial to do an Ironman. It's like we already discussed
Not many of us
how
got
many
that
people do them,
either.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then you never meet people that's done 7 continents. They are rare than Ironman. They
Listen,
are rare. They are rare people.
that's the unicorn. Okay.
See, people don't talk about that.
No.
People don't talk about that.
No.
That's the unicorn because Antarctica about the swimming and the black people. Antarctica is the eliminator. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's mostly the
Mm-hmm.
eliminator. So when you say 6 stars, you say 7 continents, and you say Iron Man, right? And so I don't look at the little individual. I say I want to be that guy doing them all. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be that guy doing them all. So I got the 1 star left, I got the 2 continent left, and I got Ironman right here.
Wait,
And
so what
so
do you have
next
left?
year,
Australia?
I have Australia and Asia.
And you about to get Asia.
Yes.
So when are you getting Australia?
Yes. Lisa Laws from New York. Currently, she's negotiating a trip for me, and so a lot of my run friends going to travel with me, and we're gonna go to London. Some of them are going for a continent, and I think one, Kyle from New York, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's her seventh continent. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
thanks, Kyle. That's her seventh, and so we're gonna do it together, and we're gonna enjoy it together. In October of next year, we're gonna do Melbourne.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
might
we're
not
gonna do
know
Melbourne.
this, but
Uh
my
huh.
journey into triathlon, Lisa Laws was there in the beginning.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lisa Laws, I was on her tri
Yeah.
team way back when.
Yeah. Matter of fact, her and Don was two of my Iron Man heroes I was telling you about from back in the day. Remember
Mm-hmm.
Don? Yeah, they were when I started traveling with reggae runners. I didn't have any idea about Iron Man, none of that. And I used to see them with the tattoos and the clothing and everything, and I just knew they were
Mm-hmm.
special.
Mm-hmm. Lisa
Yeah,
Laws led,
exactly.
she's one of the ones that it was a small group of black women that started out a
Hmm.
pool sprint try, and Lisa Laws was one
Oh
of them.
wow,
And I saw
ain't that
them,
something?
and that led the
Hmm.
way to my journey into triathlon.
Right.
We all we all
Yeah.
a family, right? We all come full
Yes,
circle.
yes, 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 yes. Because she's the one that convinced me to go to Maryland because I wanted to go. I wanted to go somewhere. I was just looking at a destination, but she was like, she calls me Double M. My name's McKenley Mason, so she has this name for me. She calls me Double M.
Mm-hmm.
She's like Double M. You in Maryland all the time. All your family's there. All your friends is there, and just see how wonderful it would be in the support you would get if you go to Maryland. But I hated swimming in squares. I just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
get in the river, go straight downstream, and get out.
Mm-hmm.
But she,
Mm-hmm.
you know how Lisa is. She was like, "Well, you learn to do
You're gonna
it."
learn
So I
today.
signed up all these. Yeah, you can learn today. So I signed up for
Mm-hmm.
all the races where you had to swim in squares.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. And she was right. I had five Sherpas. I didn't have one. I had five. I had a five Sherpa support team. Matter of fact, my Sherpa support team, everybody at the race thought they were theirs. They were using them for like motivation and everything else. And but that's how nice it was. But she was right. Yeah, it was great support. And all my grandkids, family, everybody got to come out. And I remember like it was yesterday.
That's awesome. You have to tell her
Yes.
we spoke because
Yes.
she was there when I finished Eagle Man.
Hmm.
She was there. She was at the
Okay.
finish
Oh,
line.
really?
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
I haven't thought
Yeah,
about that in so
yeah.
long. Wow.
Yeah, I
Wow.
sure will. When I see it, I'll bring that up. Yep,
It's
I
been a
will.
long time.
Yeah.
Like when you see all these new people coming up now, do
Hmm.
you like
Hmm.
look at them and think like y'all don't, like we've been at this a long time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes I want to
Well,
tell
well,
people to like
well,
slow down. Like, you don't
yeah.
have to do
Well,
everything now.
because see, you read in my mind. Like I used to turn back in the day. Back in the day, like when I viewed people, I looked at things as a rite of passage, right?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
learned from you learn from them. You go through your little sprint. You do this, and you move in, and then you go do your big thing.
Hmm.
But now, just like you say, these folks come in, they learn to swim, such and else, and they want to go do Ironman next week.
Next
And
week,
when I'm
like,
in the canoeing, and look, I volunteer when I canoe, I can spot them out. They haven't even made a half mile. They ready to call it quits. Yeah, I'll be like, well, how many Olympics you done? They be like, no, it's my first race,
like I
and
started
I'm
out in the
speechless.
pool. My first try was in the
Yeah, right.
pool. Like we went to the
Who
pool.
does that?
We ran out the pool building to the bike. Like, I don't. I mean, I think
Right?
that social media has people like so conditioned to like one up each other
Yes,
that
yes, yes,
they just
yes,
have to be
yes, yes,
better than the
yes,
person before them. And I'm like, this, if
yes,
you want to
yes,
have
yes,
longevity in this, like I've been at this for 10 years.
yes,
It's been it's been a long
yes, yeah,
time.
yeah,
And I don't care about like time
yeah.
or anything like that. I want the experience.
Mm-mm.
I want to
Yeah,
go to these
exactly,
races and
exactly,
be able to
exactly,
remember what I did when I was there,
exactly, exactly.
and
Yeah, just like you. like you brought up about the 6 star thing. It's like, I went to Berlin because some other people signed up, and I'm like, well, let me try to get in. I ain't know about no 6 star. But when I
Mm-hmm.
got there to the expo, I knew Heather King from Team Takedown because we went down the Publix thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw her
Mm-hmm.
name. I saw her name on the wall, right? And that's when I really paid attention. When I saw her name on, I'm like, what is Heather King doing on these people's wall? What she do?
But you know
Yeah,
what? Like
I,
Heather, but Heather is like one of the only ones that we know that has it.
exactly. Thank you.
Now
Thank
we
you.
know Erica
Exactly.
has it, but there's
Yeah.
like
Right. 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 Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of us that have it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't know until this week. It's only 8,000 and something.
Yes,
If
very little.
somebody would have asked me, I would have thought like 100,000, 150,000.
No.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was that small. I didn't. I just read it this week. I didn't know it was that small of a community. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
on that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when I saw her name, that's when I knew it was a thing. I'm like, they got Hella King up here. It must have been. And I saw all the little medals and the little round thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I want, oh, yeah. And that's when my dream started to build. I'm like, yeah, I'll be like Ella. Yeah, and I latched on, and every time she was going somewhere, I was right behind her.
Mm-hmm. I see
And
you
that's how I
there.
kind of like was that. Yeah, that's what I kind of was doing my continent. It wasn't a plan to do those continents. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
if Heather was going and Lisa was going, they was like my two heroes. I'm going right with them. I don't care what it costs. I don't care where we going. If they going, I'm going. Yeah, and bam, here I am.
I
Yeah,
love it.
about to wrap it up. Yeah, about to wrap it up.
Well, look, McKenley Mason, this Deacon
Yeah.
runs Mac. I want to thank you for being on the Runway podcast because we need you. We
Okay, thank you.
unity as a Black running triathlete, people of a certain age community. We need, you're my
Thank you.
hero. We need people like you to guide the way and show us that when we get to where you're at, we can still be doing this too.
Well, I thank you. I thank you.
So
Yeah,
all of
some
you
people
little
actually went up.
whippersnappers, take your time with this. We playing the long game here, not the short game.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Because a
So
lot of people they will ask me when. A lot of people ask me when I'm gonna stop, and I tell them at this point I can't. I'm like has become like
it's your
I
life. It's
can't.
part of your
I guess yeah, it's part of my life. I guess when they bury me, by pushing up daisies.
Oh boy. But yeah, thank you for being on the show. I'm
You are
going
welcome.
to, I know he's not really on Instagram like that, y'all. He on Facebook. So I don't know. You can look him up. I don't know if he's going to add y'all, but
Yeah, yeah, you can. Yeah, I go on there. Sometimes I go in there so much I just get lost. It's one of those things,
Mhm.
this Deacon Run on Instagram and McKenley
Mhm.
Mason on Facebook,
Mhm.
and my younger children tells me I need to be more active on Instagram. Matter of fact, they've been pushing me to do a YouTube page, a channel or something,
You
and I tell them,
should.
don't nobody. They be like, I'll be like, don't nobody want to hear what I gotta say. They be like, Dad, if you only knew.
If you only knew. Listen, there's a space and a place for everyone. And you probably want to be
I guess
me.
that's
The 55 to 65 community, they need you.
right.
They need you. You should.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
should. I mean, it's hard work. I got a YouTube channel. It's hard work, but
Really, yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like
I
another
consider, I,
job.
con- yeah, I consider it. I consider it over the holidays.
You should do it.
Yes.
I think you have a story that people will want to watch. Really.
Okay. Okay. That's especially coming from you because you are the media person.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. You are Miss Media, so that really means something.
I'll
Yeah.
subscribe.
Because I be yeah. Because when the kids tell me, I be thinking like they like what they trying to get. Them churn. What they trying to get out. They trying to push me to do what?
No, they're trying to push you to greatness. They're going to push you right into retirement. You're going to be getting these online coins. These coins. Shoot.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good deal. Good deal.
All
I
right.
appreciate you.
We're going to catch you on
Yeah.
the flip
Yeah.
side.
All right. Thank you.
All right. I hope you enjoy listening to Mac's story. He's amazing, isn't he? He is truly amazing. So be sure that you follow him on Instagram. His handle is This Deacon Runs. I will link it in the show notes. You can click on it. You can find him on Facebook. He tells his story mainly on Facebook. So you would have to friend him on Facebook if you really, really want to follow him. But yeah, just follow this man's journey. He is simply amazing to be doing what he does. He's a Black triathlete, 64 years of age, in incredible shape, and he's making some of us look bad, but he's looking good doing what he does, and I love it. I love watching him, do what he does and accomplish all that he's accomplished and is continuing to accomplish. So, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Runway podcast. I will check you in the next one. Later. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Runwave. If you are a runner that has a story to tell, feel free to email hello@therunwave.com or shoot me a DM on Instagram at The Runwave. Don't forget to follow The Runwave on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We are The Runwave on all platforms. Subscribe to our email list. It is listed down below in the notes of this show. And subscribe to The Runwave on YouTube. The visual episode of this show will be posted there.